Stay break on the Raj News, and it's time for the press preview. A first look at what's on the front pages as they arrive. We'll begin with this day newspaper this morning. You can't abandon work for election campaign, Buhari warns. And floods, build dams, delays major rivers, Okowa urges federal government.
The Punch newspaper. INEC summons parties, police plan 13 billion naira firearms purchase. Terrorism. Lafarge's Nigeria stock plunges amid $778 million fine. Tinubu launches campaign, unveils manifesto on Friday. And Nigerians pay more than 1 trillion naira tax to 36 states.
And in the Nation newspaper, how I will boost economy, enhance security by Tinubu. Wike endorses Sanwo-Olu for second term, and governors demand state police orders.
The Guardian Nigeria, it's leading with violent campaigns. INEC, that's Nigeria's electoral body, summons political parties for dumping peace accord.
And in the Leadership newspaper, again, constitution amendment exercise hit brick wall. Northern leaders denied endorsing any presidential candidate.
The international papers now. This is The Guardian. Liz Truss faces Tory unrest over toxic budget cuts.
And in the Financial Times, bank profits in line of fires hunt seeks to close £40 billion funding gap.
The Daily Express, don't dare go back on pension triple lock.
And the iPaper, UK pensions U-turn leaves trust facing fresh peril.
For the press preview, let's bring in Emmanuel Bella. Good morning, Emmanuel. And this day, we're starting with this day. The President Buhari is set to inaugurate the APC, the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council on Friday. But at that ministerial retreat, the presidential candidate of the APC pledged to honor President Buhari's legacy. Can you reel off some of these for us, Emmanuel? What are the president's legacies?
Good morning, Kenneth. Yes, I think if I have any good answer to that, I probably will be richer than I am now, because I mean it's a $1 million question. What are the legacies that Tinubu is pledging to continue with? Is it these legacies that we see everywhere? The crisis of security, insecurity, the problems of the economy. The fact that just yesterday, Kenneth, you and I reviewed the story of how bad the inflation has gone. Is he going to deepen this crisis, or is he going to make them better? Already, Tinubu will say he's going to be the man that will fetch water from a dry well. He's acknowledging the fact that it's a real daunting task if he ever becomes president, that he is going to have to face a dry well, but that in that dry well, he is prepared to be a magician and to pull out water. But Nigerians hear this differently, Kenneth. Each time Tinubu say, I'm going to deepen, I'm going to continue President Buhari's legacy. Nigerians hear that differently. They hear it like him saying that, look, these problems will just go away, because President Buhari clearly, especially from from his critics, they will tell you that he has not really performed in many of those areas, the areas of security, the areas of the economy, and the area of even the anti-corruption war, the one that was the heaviest of his planks, of those the tripod position he took when he became president. A lot of people expected much from the president. You can talk about the president's integrity as a person himself. I think some people have said that for him, and they've said things like the sort of thing he said yesterday, which is warning ministers, permanent secretaries, and head of agency that, look, don't sacrifice politics for the good work or the work that you are doing. Continue to do your work, and don't go into campaign mode. Things like that. When the president speaks like this, people say that is a sign of how serious-minded he is as a person who doesn't put politics first before any other thing. But when you look at the larger picture of his performance, a lot of people will say that, look, he has not performed very well, and they're scoring the APC government almost close to zero in major areas of the indices. So when Tinubu says things like, I'm going to continue the legacy of the president, or I'm going to deepen them, or I'm going to just continue from where the President Buhari stopped, I don't think it's good for his campaign. I don't think it's good for him as a person. But of course, that's the only thing he can do now. And the opposition will always jump at this and say, look, what Tinubu is offering is more of the same.
Now, let's come to the leadership, where it's been said that the Constitution Amendment exercise hit bricks wall. The National Assembly Constitutional Committee raising alarm over 25 state House of Assembly refusing to concede to the amendment of the bill. Now, what does this portend, given the fact we're going to the elections a year already? What does this portend for the electorate and for the nation as a whole?
Well, you're right, Benny. It's coming at a time when everybody might be, the governors themselves are already, in campaign mode. So, I mean, nobody is really looking at this. It's amazing that we're actually still talking about a constitutional amendment. But those issues are very, very strong. And I see the Labour man, Waba, really angry. It's one of the very important aspects of it, which is the issue of state policing, and then the autonomy of the local government. These are very, very, extraordinary or very daunting things in the constitution that need to be looked at. And talking about local government autonomy, or even the state assembly themselves, their autonomy, it's very important. Sometimes the funny thing is that some of these at the state assembly, some of them don't actually even love or want the autonomy, and now the governors are weighing in strongly to say, look, we need to still have much more control of the local government. And Benny, that's part of our larger problem. The fact that governors are controlling the local government the way they want to, they send the kind of administrators they want there, sole administrators. So those people, chairmen of local government, those people are almost like aides of the governors. They send them to these local governments, and the local governments are not performing. And it's because these local governments are also performing, like over 700 of them. It's the sum total of that, rot at the local government level that is, that is translating into the kind of national crisis that we're having. The hope is that if the local government can control their own funding, take care of their, overheads, and, pay their salaries, do the things they need to do with their own money, that maybe we're going to get better yields in administration down there. But what you see now is that the local government are clearly in a state of comatose. Everyone goes to the state capital. The local government chairman doesn't even stay within his local government, runs to the state capital and stays there as the governors too are running to the nation's capital. So you find out that if the local governments are not just working at all, and this bill seeks to see that, look, local government have get their monies, keep them, and it's not what you are seeing now, which is hands out from governors who say, just take this, go do some things, come back, pay salaries, and all of that. Nothing is happening at the local government. So it's the sum total of all that you have as huge problems bedeviling our country. So, but again, like you say, Benny, it's almost we're in election season, and it's all about politics now, about campaigns and about elections.
You've been speaking about governors, Emmanuel, and the governor of the South River State, Nyesom Wike, is starting to move his political chess pieces. He's been in Lagos attending an event at which he endorsed the governor of Lagos, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. And right after that event, the media asked him about the qualities he's looking forward to in the next president. Let's listen to what he had to say.
It's a president that has the interests of Nigerians, a president that has experience in governance, a president that Nigerians can say, yes, I remove food, and I can put food on the table, will fight insecurity. That's what we're looking for. Not some people who are talking about ethnicity. No.
And who's on your mind?
Don't worry.
There's no candidate whose name is Don't Worry for now. But earlier, same Governor Nyesom Wike spoke about gave his opinion on the Muslim ticket. Here's what he had to say.
President candidate should be not. Chairman should be not. DG should be not. The force of our people will not be there. I will not agree. If you will agree, you can go. Agree. I will not agree to that. Because history, it doesn't matter whether you win the election or not. But you must show enough is enough. Enough is enough. I don't support whatever they call Muslim ticket. I don't. Okay, you don't like it. But you are supporting handover from one ethnic group to the same ethnic group. From the same region to the same region.
So that's Governor Nyesom Wike. Still, he hasn't said he's supporting his party's candidate. That's Atiku Abubakar, who's currently out of the country. But he did say in that clip that he's not in support of the Muslim ticket. At the event yesterday, he stopped short of endorsing a presidential candidate. Emmanuel, with these two comments from the governor, does it seem he's endorsed one of the presidential candidates?
No, but what is clear about that is that he's in a place, he's in a terrible place, between a hard place and a rocky place. So it's actually torn between two very contending forces. I think one part of his heart is saying that, look, go with this. The other side is saying, no, go with that. He said he doesn't like the Muslim ticket, meaning that he does not endorse the Tinubu Shetima ticket. That's what that statement is. Then, of course, he said he doesn't also like a candidate that looks like an ethnic, as far as he's concerned, a candidate that is talking about ethnicity. You remember he condemned so strongly those article statements about the North should go for the North and not for a Yoruba or an Igbo. You know, he condemned that so strongly, and he's, you know, intoning that again yesterday in Lagos when he said, look, he will not support a candidate that is more interested in one region keeping the presidency. So there he is saying, on one hand, saying that, look, I don't want to keep, I don't like the Tinubu Shetima Muslim ticket, because it's difficult for even Wike to sell that in Rivers State, of all places. And of course, he cannot fathom the fact that a candidate, power will remain in the North through the person of Atiku. So maybe that what's left for Wike now is actually to declare for, says maybe Peter Obi, because that comes to him. that's the closest thing that comes to the kind of description he's saying. But while we wait for his endorsement, what all this shows is what a lot of people say about Wike: the fact that he flip-flops, the fact that he oscillates between sometimes he's on the right, sometimes he's on the left, and people not too sure where he's going. But yesterday he endorsed Sanwo-Olu for the second time, and clearly his romance with the APC seemed to be thickening every day.
Now, let's come to INEC, Emmanuel. It's reported in The Guardian that INEC summons political parties for dumping the peace accord, I think due to violent campaigns. Now, do you think, I mean, if you were to project, I mean, what were your projections to the campaigns as they are under already? Are we going to see so much violence in these campaigns? And INEC now calling for these political parties for dumping the peace accord, which was just signed some weeks back. Does this portend any danger?
Benny, it means that those peace accords were not even worth the paper that they were signed onto. I mean, because just a few days after that, you had those problems. But before then, even in Zamfara State, a governor shut down media houses for just relaying a rally, and attacking journalists for doing that. So we're beginning to see the start of what the very peace accord Benny Aki are talking about is trying to deal with, the problem of politicians who, according to INEC chairman, sees politics as war. 2 weeks ago, he said that he's worried that this politics or this election are seen by politicians as war. So that's the problem. Of course, we see images of the leadership or the contestants trying to be playful with each other. That clip of Atiku and Tinubu laughing at the airport and just play. They can do that at that level, but their supporters haven't learned the lesson of tolerance, of politics without bitterness, of politics that is done in a very decent way. You see them clashing. And some of these things are coming from supporters or even people that are sponsored, people that, they've been sent to go and just attack a rally or do something. It's a difficult thing to say, but INEC can just do what it's doing now, appeal for more, for more restraint from supporters and the candidates. And it starts with the body language of these candidates, what they say, tell their members and how they go about it. It doesn't have to be violent. They should take the words of Jonathan, who said, no election is worth one spill of any blood of any kind. Those kind of, talking points will be very important as we head into the campaigns.
Emmanuel, if you go online, they're harrowing tales of what the worst floods in Nigeria in a decade have caused. Now in 33 states of Nigeria's 36 states. And so far, so good. I've only seen a press conference or a speech from the governor in Bayelsa State. What are the other governors doing?
And that's part of the problem. The other governors are probably more interested in the elections and coming to Abuja and talking about, how much they can get out of the accounts, the federation account. That seems to be, you are right. We don't see too many empathy. We don't see images of governors going to this flood, sites and showing real empathy with the people, sending relief material. I'm sure some people will even want to make some killing from it, from this flood, and I'll call it blood money. and that's what's a sad situation. But of course, like you say, that Governor Diri is doing the right thing. He's visiting those places, and actually also Okowa giving solutions, saying that look, while you can't do much about natural disasters, you can think outside the box. There are best practices around the world on what to do with damming, with desilting of river, body of water, and the things you can actually do to reduce the damages of the flooding. So it's giving solutions to the federal government that they should look at that direction. A government that cares about the people will surely think of solutions and will forestall, occurrences of the very, very sad situation a lot of victims find themselves right now.
Thank you, Emmanuel, for your analysis as always. Now, that's the press preview. Let's hear your views on all of the burning issues. Follow us on Twitter at Arise TV. You can also join to this conversation using the hashtag AriseDaybreak.